Welcome back, family and coconuts. How's it going? This is a video that I've been talking about making for quite a long time, but I never got around to it. Now, when I've got some time today, and I'm trying to knock out some of these videos, and I figured this is as good a time as any to get this. This is a book that I was extremely excited to get my hands on. I won an auction on eBay, and when I received it, this book became a, a, a controversy between me and the seller, me and CGC. And then as I brought it to shows, every single dealer and person that took a look at this book. For those of you that know me already, you know the book that I'm talking about. For those of you that don't, this was I'm a Star Wars fan. Okay. A big Star Wars fan. I want to collect the original 107 issue 9.0 or higher. And this was not part of the original 107, but this was a really hard book to find. And I was really, really happy to get it. It is the Return of the Jedi, but it was the Canadian price variance. Now, a lot of people don't care about the Canadian price variance. A lot of people don't care about the Mark Jewelers, but I saw this as a nice high grade book on eBay. And when the book came in, I looked at it and I'm like, are you kidding me? Did you crack this open and change the book? I accused the seller of this. I really did. And to my chagrin, once I was able to contact and find out from CGC, this person did not. And this was, if you go back in their selling history, they're not big into selling comic books. I think this was the first time that they did sell some. They had a 9-book submission, and I looked at the other 8 books, and none of them got high grades. This was the only one that did. So it's not like they had somebody at CGC that's hooked them up. But again, I had accused this person of doing this, and rightfully so. They were very upset that I was accusing them without any proof. But I'm going to go through more descriptive reasoning in a minute. Once I was able to find out that this was recently graded at CGC, and they have their own pictures on their website of the books that they grade, and I was able to verify that the book I received is the book that they graded, because you can see all the water stains, tears, and everything, and dirt and everything else in this. It was just, wow, okay, I'm sorry and for accusing you of that. And even though their return policy says no returns, if you purchase through through eBay or PayPal, they have to. If it's if it's a misrepresented product, they have to. So they agreed to return the comic book and refund my money. However, I thought to myself, A, I'd rather have this as a conversation piece, like being able to make this video. And B, all you're going to do is turn around and sell it to somebody else. And their, remark back to me was, well, we put pictures up. Why didn't you inspect the pictures before you bought it? It's a graded comic book. The purpose of having an independent agency grade the comic is I don't have to inspect it to see what grade it is. It's already been done for me. So let's take a look at the zoomed in pictures of this book. This is directly off of CGC's website. You can actually see the little note up here. It says CGC Comics certification lookup 4318799009. Feel free to look it up yourself if you'd like. So we're going to start scrolling around this book and taking a look at it. The front cover is not terrible, but there are absolutely things that you can see. You start to see this top corner is messed up. You've got a pretty good ding here in the edge. As you start to come down, there is dirt on the cover itself. Right down here, there is a serious ding right into the cover itself. We've got a tear here and more damage to the book itself here. And there goes my phone dinging along. We've got damage along this whole bottom corner. Rough edge here along this bottom edge. You can see the dirt that's here on the spine. You've got some um, small tears around the staple. As we continue up, you can start to see more soiling and actually foxing in some areas on the white of the border. You've got some pull around the staple here as well, more dirt. And then this whole top corner here, more dirt and damage on the corner itself. Going through the book, the front cover, like I said, is not terrible, but as you start to look at it at different angles with the light, you can see the discoloration. So I'm going to get myself back up here while I switch over to the back cover and get myself back up here. Boom. Now, here's the back cover. We've got a lot of soiling. We actually have some water staining in some areas as well. We've got a tear, a tear, a tear, a tear, a tear, a tear, tear, tear. More, they got some color rub or red makeup or something here. I'm not sure what. More staining here. Look at all the dirt on this whole top edge. As we start to go down through the spine here, we've got more soiling. We've got this is actually a small tear in the book here. This is really getting bad along this area. You see all the dirt on the Burger Time hat here. Again, it just continues the entire way down. Gets really bad here towards the bottom edge. Bottom edge here, we've got a major crease here, a major crease here. This is actually breaking through. Again, more soiling, more staining. This is a water stain right here. So you've got some also evidence of foxing. You can see this giant black line going here right through his hand all the way up to the edge. What do you call it? More staining everywhere. There, this whole edge here is damaged. This head, and the damage continues up. We've got, it looks like a small amount of the cover has been ripped away. Really bad alignment between the pages and the cover itself. So this absolutely is a book that has problems with it. And again, this is the book that I did receive. So you can understand why I would say, hey, what the heck did you change out this book? So what's that? You don't understand why? Well, then let me give you one other piece of information about this book. This was graded a 9.8 white page. So I was, and I kid you not, this is the book. There is the number, Canadian price variance, movie adaptation, 75-cent cover price, Bill Sienkiewicz cover, 9.8 white page. It says it on the top. It says it on the back. You can see it right there. And I was absolutely shocked. I was shocked when I won this. I was really happy to win this because when you look at just that, the way that it is, you think, hey, it's a 9.8 white page. There's under 10 of these. It graded a 9.8. So as a Star Wars collector, this was phenomenal for me to have. But then once I started looking at it, like, this is not a 9.8. This guy must have cracked open the slab and changed the book. And then I got onto the CGC website and found out, no, this is the book that CGC graded a 9.8 white page. Now, I take this to shows. I take this to, I take this to, like I said, to shows, to show dealers, other collectors. I take this to stores where people, they have their own license to submit. They make their livelihood on this. And I ask people to grade it. The highest grade I've gotten from anybody is a 6.5. The average grade that I get from people based on everything that's wrong with it is a 4.5 to a 5. So this really stands out. I've had people grade this as low as a 3 because of all the small tears that are in that cover. And there's no grader's notes available. It's, and it was graded September of 2023. This is not something that happened, 10 years ago or 5 years ago. This happened after their expansion of hiring a lot more people for grading and putting their better graders on their higher tiers, on the Silver Age. They took the most experienced graders and put them on the more expensive books. So when you send in books for the modern age, this is pre-screen, the pre-screens and everything else. These are the novice graders. Now, one thing I forgot to check. I want to know what day of the week was September 6th. Was that a Friday? Were they, trying to get out of there for the weekend? Oh, wrong way. Let's take a quick look here. September 6th. No, it was a Wednesday. It was the middle of the week. So it's not like they were trying to get out of there on a Friday afternoon, just like, give it a 9.8. Now, when I showed this over at Syndicate Comics, and he's a facilitator, and he does a lot of grading, a lot of submissions, and he's usually spot on with his grades. If he says this is a 7.5, it's a 7.5. If he says it's a 9.6, it's a 9.6. He thought this was absolutely ridiculous. He's shown it to multiple people as well. When he has contacts at CGC, and he called them up, and his representative, and said, "How could this possibly be a 9.8?" And they looked up the records of the grading of this book. This was graded by 3 people, and all 3 unanimously said this was a 9.8, and then took pictures of this book showing what they graded as a 9.8. This, honestly, is ridiculous. It truly, truly is. And again, this is why when I got the book, so you see, there it is, my 9.8. With all the problems on this, I thought to myself, there is no way that I could never sell this. All this is something for me to bring to shows and show people. I have a friend that has the angry girlfriend variant of the first appearance of Green Goblin and Spider-Man. If you're not familiar with that, you should look that up. That's a great book. And I know who owns that. He's a really cool person. And to me, this is my distressed cover variant of Return of the Jedi. So I kept this because I did not want, in good conscience, for somebody else to purchase this and and have that nausea in their stomach when they feel like they just got ripped off on a book that they thought they would never possibly own. So, what are your feelings on this? Have you ever gotten books? And I understand when you send in a book that's perfect and it comes back 6.5 with a big corner crunch. Okay, so you obviously dropped it. Okay, and then said that that's the way you received it and graded it 6.5. That's one thing. But when you send in a book that is not a high grade, or in this person's case, they were not familiar with comics, they sent in a bunch of books. Okay. They still knew enough that during the submission, they highlighted it as a Canadian price variant. Just want to say that. But if you sent in a book and it came back graded horribly, if you sent in a book that was a 9.8 candidate and it came back 7.0, 6.5, and you don't see anything wrong with it, or vice versa, you sent in a book that you thought was a 4 or a 5, but it just based on its rarity, you wanted to have it graded, and it came back a 9.8, what would you do? Would you sell it? Would you keep it? Would you call up CGC and say, "Hey, look, I hate to say this, but you're on crack"? How do you feel about what I have here? Do you think I should I should have returned it, or do you think I did the right thing? I think I did the right thing in just holding on to this and stopping somebody else from getting ripped off, and at the same time being able to show this video as a cautionary tale to all of you. Even when you're buying a slab book on eBay, zoom in on those pictures. Just protect yourself. It takes an extra minute of your time, and you won't wind up with one of those super surprises like I had. Hopefully that you found this beneficial. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and click on those. Drop a comment down below. Click on notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. Thank you so much for helping us to get to 1250. Because we want to continue to grow the channel. And provided it hasn't passed yet, make sure you join our 1250 subscriber giveaway. If it has passed, keep an eye out for that 1500, which will hopefully be happening soon. Guys, can't wait to see you in the next video. Until I do, mahalo.